Hi everyone. Are you bored out of your mind and don't know what to do? Well, you're in luck because I have the answer to that problem. That is because today I will be demonstrating how to make your very own piñata. Specifically, I will be showing you the exact materials you will need to make this type of piñata. Then I will show you what to make of those materials, and finally show you to actually make the structure of the piñata. And for disclosure, this project can get messy. Now that I've discussed the basic information that will be discussed in this tutorial, I would now like to move on to the actual process. These will be the materials that you will need. That is a bowl, glass, or any type of metal type of material because it's easier to clean with. A spatula or any type of thing to stir the mix around. Measuring cups that will contain the water and flour that you will need. The actual balloon, which is the actual structure of the piñata. A glue stick or liquid glue is fine. A pair of scissors, a piece of twine, and tissue paper, and newspaper or grocery store catalogs. And you will get any of these materials in your local grocery store, Dollar Tree or 99-cent store, wherever it's convenient for you. Now, let's get started. We will start by making the paste that that's actually needed to maintain the structure of the piñata. That is, we'll take a half cup of flour and a half cup of water and mix it together until it's in a jelly-like consistency. Now that we have mixed it for a while, it will just look like this. Now we're going to put this aside for right now, and we're going to actually take the newspaper or grocery store catalog in this case and cut little strips just like this. And I usually use just like 3 different catalogs, and after a while it's going to look just like this. Now we're going to take all of these aside as well and take the tissue paper that in the package actually comes out just like this. And what we'll just do is fold it in half once more and cut little squares out of it all the way to the end. Then turn it vertically and cut all the way, almost close to the top but not quite there, all the way to over here, which will then result in something like this, which then we will unfold and is the actual we'll actually be using to decorate the piñata. We'll put these aside as well, and we're going to take the actual balloon and blow it up, which will look something like this. It doesn't have to be this shape or size anyways. It's always up to your convenience and the type of piñata that you want to make. Now, interestingly enough, I read an article on the Baltimore Sun newspaper by Julie Sharper in 2014 that said that piñatas in the past were formed around clay pots, but because they were dangerous, they now move into using balloons because it's now safer and it actually still holds the same structure. Now, let's move on to the actual making of the piñata. Now we will take the paste that we made earlier, the balloon and a strip of newspaper, and actually dip in the paste and remove any excess that it may have. Like I said, it gets messy. And then actually apply onto the balloon. And make sure to smooth that out to remove any air bubbles that it may have. And while you're doing this, make sure that you are doing it in all directions, that is over and around, to make sure that it has a sturdy shape. Then you also want to layer at least 3 to 4 coats of this type of newspaper material onto it to also maintain that shape. And then after you have done layering it with all of that newspaper, you will want to set it aside so it could dry for 24 hours. Now I went ahead, for the purpose of this project, already have done that step, and it will look something like this. Now this is all set and dry. What I'm going to actually be doing is skipping one step where you actually cut a hole onto the top of the balloon where you actually insert candy, but actually the Baltimore Sun also included and stated that it was traditionally that you actually put like sugar canes and fruits inside the piñata, but usually you could put whatever you want. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this twine onto the end of the piñata, just like this. And now we're going to move on and actually take tissue paper that we have cut before.